In this video, I'm going to answer the question, how did I get stuck on the hamster wheel of life? And this is you if, despite giving 110% in life, the most regular thing you feel is exhausted, confused, lost, and stuck. And if you stay to the end of this video, will reveal to you the path forwards for any human to feel happy, fulfilled, content, and energized. So we're talking about the game of life, something that is your responsibility for around 60 to 80 years if everything goes well. Unless you want to live in a cardboard box on the side of the road and get your meals out of dumpster bins, this is going to require a few dollars. The question is, how much does the game of life cost over a lifetime? And this is a very subjective question because we're all different and we're all going to live in different places which have different costs and we want different things. So don't worry too much about that. What is more important is what is the daily spend over time for the average human? What is the demands, the money demands that life puts on us at different stages through our life? And the answer to that is that when we're young, and we leave school, we're actually quite cheap to run. We live with mum and dad. Life doesn't cost much. We only really need a few dollars to go out on the weekend, which we usually earn in a job we don't really enjoy anyway. Then, as we get into our 20s, we want a bit more freedom. Maybe we want a holiday. Maybe we want a car. Maybe late 20s, we might move into a house and pay rent. Then we might actually meet someone. There's no pressure. There's no rules. Then, if all that goes well, often case kids come along. And once kids come along and we have a partner and a house and a mortgage, the daily spend goes through the roof. And it's only when our kids reach 15, 20, 25 years of age, they start to forge their own path in life. The financial pressure starts to come off mum and dad. And once the kids are all gone and out and living their life, life becomes pretty cheap for mum and dad to live their life in their 60s and their 80s again. This is a very typical daily spend through life for most humans and most Aussies. So how do we fall onto the hamster wheel of life where we are unfulfilled and exhausted and confused and stuck? Well, this is kind of how it goes. That when we're 18 or young, we're not really thinking much. We don't even think we're going to make it past 30 most of the time. We're not planning for our future. We're not really looking for our purpose. We're not putting money away for when we're 30, 40, or 50. So we very quickly fall behind the typical line for finances. And early on, we already reached some financial pressure. It feels like we can't afford the things that we want to go on, even if at this stage it's a new car or a holiday or whatever it is. Then some stage around 25 to 35 typically is when we might meet someone and get into a relationship and maybe even start a family. At this point, the financial demand really comes on strong. We've got dependents who rely on us for food and safety and shelter and all the things. So there's a lot of pressure, and our freedom and our choices are impacted by that. So often we're stuck already in a job we don't like because we haven't given it much thought. Then this is the real hamster wheel type thing, where there's a lot of financial pressure because we have dependents under us, a mortgage to pay, etc., etc. And this takes away our ability to explore new jobs, explore our purpose. So we're stuck in a job we don't like, trying to make ends meet, trying to claw our way back to the other side of that line so that the financial challenge disappears. Then, as life goes on, again, kids get older. This is still the hamster wheel. It just becomes life that we never have enough money until eventually later on in our 60s and 70s, if we've been putting superannuation away, our kids find their own path in life, and then finally we have a bit of financial relief. So this red line is really the hamster wheel of life. And it comes out of not really planning at the start, not learning how money works, not exploring our purpose or what really makes us fulfilled. The alternative of this, and a much better way to live life, is to really plan for the future when we're young. Learn about money, put money away, and explore what is really fulfilling to us. What is my purpose? What are my values? And then if we live that blue line, we don't experience that financial pressure, and that allows us to really explore the things that make us happy. So that's really how we end up on the hamster wheel of life, a place that's exhausting, confusing, and we can really feel stuck there. How do we step from that blue and red line red and yellow line over to that blue line? That is the topic of my next video, called How to Step Onto Your Personal Path to Fulfillment. Click on the link somewhere here, jump on and watch that video, and you will get your answers there.